Finally got some sleep last night. Went to bed early around just after 10 really, and woke up at 7. So got a full sleep. Um, but Rambo stayed heavy on my mind. Sometimes I wonder if sleep is affected by the fact that I don't want to go a long stretch of time without thinking of him. I wake up, I think of him, because the cliche thing to say is that everything reminds me of him. I still have his food bowl out and his water bowl out, because I can't bring myself to move it. Definitely going to see him today, going to his grave. I can't let go, and I shouldn't, and I won't. I just feel like I should spend all of my time thinking and grieving and mourning his loss, by really just not doing anything but doing that. And anytime I do anything else, I feel like I'm worried that Rambo is somewhere saying, look at this guy not even thinking about me. And I'm sure he's not. Because Rambo is just always excited no matter what. I could have gone away for 8, 12 hours, 10 minutes. It was all the same. He'd just run to me at the door. And we would talk. I miss talking to Rambo. More than anything. Because we talked. Whether it be that I sit there and talk to him and he just kind of tilted his head. But his ears are always perked up because he could have been waiting for those two magical words, walk or treat, or any word that sounded similar. But he would listen, and he would look at me and he would listen. And if I wasn't talking, animals are like this. They know when you're sad, they know when you're down, they know when you're up and excited. And that's what being there for somebody is. That's how he was there for me. It was just always the right reaction. There's a part of me that feels he was taken. Rambo lived 18 years. I believe by calculation it's 126. He wasn't taken, he lived a full life. Well, my best friends told me that, Rambo lived that long because you gave him a good life. If a dog isn't given a good life, around 7 or 8, they might just throw in the towel, say, this is kind of whack, just give up. But my friend said Rambo hung around for me. He really wanted to be here for me, and he enjoyed his life. And I'm trying to think of it that way. I'm trying to appreciate that Rambo loved me. When your dog is gone, you feel like nobody loves you. That's how I feel. I feel like nobody loves me. I feel unloved. My mom got diagnosed with Parkinson's in July of 2022. At the end of August, I caught that my cousin and my uncle and my other cousins, but primarily my cousin and uncle, were scamming my mom out of money. And for them to take advantage of her and her sickness really upset me. I mean, I scrambled to handle it as best I could and took charge and lead, and of course I did. But when I talked to Rambo about it, Rambo was upset. Because Rambo loved my mom. Rambo loved my mom. My mom would always give Rambo the best of treats, which is human food, pieces of ham, cooked chicken, gravy on it, skin. Rambo would devour it. And from even, I would bring Rambo to the house that I grew up in before my mom moved. Rambo was always ecstatic to go over there, and he knew what the walk was. If we walked over there, he knew exactly where we were going. And when he got there, he would dart around the house, and my mom would say, hey you dog, don't run around my house. You think this is your yard? You think say your mana yard? But Rambo was always excited. He was excited to see my mom because she was going to give him the best treats. But he loved her, and she was kind to him. My mom was kinder to Rambo than she was to me. At least that's how it felt. But I don't blame her, because Rambo was the best. I remember one time I was leaving, and I'm like, Rambo, we gotta go. And my mom was sitting on the couch, and Rambo was right beside her on the couch. My mom had this expensive leather couch, and she was past, but she left Rambo, and it was okay for him to jump on the couch. And I said, Rambo, it's time for us to go. He just looked me dead in the face with his eyes, ears perked up. And he just put one paw on my mom's thigh, as if to say, I'm staying right here. Rambo was upset that I was upset that I caught my family trying to scam my mom. And scamming and getting away with a little bit of it until I put an end to it. And at the same time, he was comforting. Rambo was upset when my cousin on my dad's side, who's not even related to my mom, started showing up at the hospital trying to scam. Rambo was there for me. He was upset for me and then comforting to me through it as I took charge of the situation. It's unfair that he's gone because he's just a small, innocent dog who never did anything to anybody, never tried to hurt anybody, never tried to hurt anything. Never intentionally. Didn't know better, but was just curious. I'd walk Rambo, and if he saw a squirrel, he wouldn't really chase after it, but he'd stop and stare at them as if to look at it and say, "Hey, do you want to play?" There were bigger dogs that were salivating looking at rams. I never neutered rams, so he had his original body parts, all of them. And a lot of dogs were envious of that and would want to fight him. They were aggressive towards him because of it, because they could smell that his nuts were still there. But as aggressive as those big dogs were, Rambo just wanted to play. Some dogs had toys the size of Rambo. Some of them would try to bite him, bark at him loud. And Rambo's tail would just wag like, "Oh, it's a new game, let's play." Rambo saw bunnies, a lot of rabbits in the neighborhood, and he would just want to play. Cats. He just wanted to play. I feel like the world needs more Rambo because we need more people that want to play and be joyous with one another and have a good time. I feel like that's not in my life anymore. I'm just sad because I need Rambo. I need him. I feel like maybe he didn't need me, Maybe I didn't do enough. But I'm just gonna have to go to his grave and see him and think about him. Because I need him. And I feel like that's the challenge. The challenge is, how do I continue anything while needing something that I can't have. So I'm just gonna keep trying.